Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, I got a new toy and I am dying to bust into this box and see what all's in here, but I wanted y'all to come along with me. So I tell you what, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'm gonna get through this outside box and get us to the inside box so we can see what all's in here. Y'all, that box was seriously like 7 different kinds of sealed, but I got into it and here's what we got. It's the Note Air 3C and I'm so excited. So I know some things about it, but I'm not sure that I remember exactly what I know. So let's get into it. Let's just see what's here. And then I want to take some time messing with it, see what I think about it, and then come back and we'll talk our way through it because as y'all may know, we've gone over the Remarkable 2. And then I got the Super Note and I absolutely love it. So I want to take some time and play with this thing and see how it compares to the Remarkable, the Super Note, and the Scribe. So I really want to take my time, but first, let's get into it and see what all comes in the boxes. So I ordered it actually from the company from Box. So I got the whole package with it. Like I got the whole combination deal. And I got, y'all know I'm a sucker. I ordered the pen with it, even though, so it's an EMR. Is it called a pen or a pencil? I don't know. But it would work with any of the ones that I already have. But y'all, if we're going to do a review, I feel like we need to have the actual experience of the product the way that it's intended, like by the manufacturer, like by the folks that sell it. So I got their stylus, and I think I'm gonna, like every time I get one of these, I think I'm gonna like it. But it's got a firm nib, y'all know how I love those, and it's got an eraser. So, that's all cute, and I like that it's just black. It's just flat black, which is fun. So let's set that aside and actually get into it. It came with a cover, and here is the actual box that the tablet is in. So let's see what we've got. It's a very nice presentation. It's flat black. I don't know if you can see, it says make a difference and box on it. I keep saying box, y'all, it's books. What am I saying? So it says books on it in shiny black on flat black. I know, I'm so excited, y'all, I can't even read. Let's remind ourselves that I teach reading. Anyway, books. It is a books tablet. Oh, y'all, this is lovely. So here's what this is. It's an e-ink tablet like the Super Note and the Remarkable 2, but y'all, you probably already see it through the plastic. The difference is this one's color. And it is lovely. See if I can figure out how to actually power it up. Oh, there we go. Onyx, I believe, is the operating system. So I'm going to let that go for a second, see what happens there. Let's see what we got in the boxes. There are 2 boxes in here. One is, what is this? Whoa. Y'all, did this thing actually come with the... I'm an idiot. This serves me right. There's a $70 stupid tax on here because I didn't look to see what was in the box, and it came with a stylus. Now, this one, the one that I bought, the other box, is has the eraser. But I'm pretty sure if I had actually looked and just not gotten all excited and started clicking stuff and bought, I would have realized that this was in the box and not bought a separate stylus, but that's all right. What are you going to do now, right? Okay, so comes in the box with a stylus and charging cable. It is, of course, USB-C. So we have a USB-A to USB-C cable. Sorry, that's horrible noise. And Let's see if I can just get it to show us. All right, I'm going to set this aside and get it going because I have to agree to some things. Y'all, I'm seriously laughing at myself for the $70 idiot tax that I paid buying a separate stylus when there's a stylus that came with it. But that's okay. I did not buy a cover because I realized that a cover came with it, so I got that going for me. So it came with this sleek cover, and it does some kind of origami. Can y'all see the lines on here? It folds, and it does some kind of origami foldy thing, and y'all, literally every review I've seen of this thing, the person opens it and goes, oh, how does this fold? And starts trying to fold it and can't figure it out. So I'm not going to embarrass myself any further than I already have by admitting that I bought this thing without knowing what I was buying and paid an extra 60 bucks or 70 bucks for a stylus I didn't need. But that's okay. So here's the case. I will figure out how the case works. And y'all, here it is. So I did the few little things I needed to do to get into it. And the screen looks very crisp and clear. It's really pretty. You can see the colors a little bit, but of course I can't get to anything because I'm not logged into anything. So I tell you what, let me just shut this down. Let me get it set up. Let me mess around with it because this is completely new to me, so I have no idea how it does anything. I will tell you one thing. It does feel a little bit heavier than the Super Note. Might be, might not be, I don't know. But it feels a little heavier to me, and that's literally the only thing I can say right now. It's got color, and it feels a little bit heavier, and it came with a stylus. So y'all, let me get off here. Let me get this set up. Let me play around with it a little bit. Let me figure out what it does. Then I'll come back and let you know what I think about it. All right, y'all. I've had the Note Air 3C for a little while. I've messed around with it. I have some ideas about it. So I want to just tell you some basic stuff. When I took it out of the box, I think I told you nothing other than, oh, look, I got a new toy. And I knew so little about it. I didn't even know that it came with a stylus. So I know more things now. So let's talk about it. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I am sitting on the floor, not because I don't have furniture or I don't have the sense to sit on the furniture, but because I want to set up a second camera so I can show y'all this thing, and it's just easier on the floor. So y'all don't judge me. Anyway, let's talk about this thing. So it is an Android, well, it's a tablet that runs on the Android operating system. It's a 10.3-inch screen, it's Kaleido 3 with eink Carta 1200 glass. Of course, it's 300 ppi. I think they all are at this point, like until they start being more. I think they're all 300 ppi at this point, but it's got 4,096 colors, which y'all, let me put it on my splash screen. I don't know if y'all can see that at all to see the colors. I don't think this is going to do it justice at all, but the colors are absolutely lovely. Now, let me say before we even get into this thing, this is not a tablet like an iPad or your typical like Android Galaxy tablet. This is an e-ink device. So it's an e-ink device that runs color over top of like the e-ink. So I don't really understand how that works. That's about as much of that as I understand. But what I do know is that you're not going to get the performance that you do out of like an iPad type device. But y'all, that's not what this does. It's not what it's made for. So it's just not what it's good for. If you're going into it with those types of expectations, just go on ahead and get out now because you're not going to be happy. What you are going to get is that 4,096 colors. And y'all, this is like the fancy stylus. It's the extra one that I bought that I didn't need to buy with the eraser on the end. But even the stylus that comes with it gives you 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity and capacitive touch. The thing comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage with, I got to figure out my sides. I got it all turned around when I was showing it off. With a, you know what, I should probably just take it out of the case so you can see it. With a micro SD slot, y'all probably can't even see it because it's micro, but it's got a micro SD slot. It's got dual speakers. See the little speakers? And then, of course, USB-C. I think we might have talked about that when I took it out the box. But, y'all, look how thin it is. It's got dual band Wi-Fi, of course. I think that's another one of those I think is standard now. It's got front light, like, you know, I'm not trying to, like, compare e-readers or whatever, but it's got front light. Like, if you're a Kindle person or a Nook person, Kobo person, it's got the front light that all of those have, plus the warm, like, you can adjust warm light. Of course you can, because y'all look at the color. Of course you can adjust the warmth of the lighting. I'm going to put it back in the case. Not that I'm going anywhere with it, but I just get squeegee when my stuff's out of a case. So even in the case though, y'all look how thin it is. So it's 10.7 ounces, I think. Don't quote me on that. It is not heavy. It is very light. It's easy to carry. It's very comfortable. I don't carry it around. Like, I read on it around the house. This is not my, like, throw it in my purse and take it to the Walmart if I'm sitting in the parking lot, like, waiting for a grocery pickup or something. This is not the tablet that I take with me, but you absolutely could. I just have a purse Kindle that I use for that just because it's smaller and easier. But you could absolutely, I believe this is portable enough that, and especially in the case, I feel like it's safe enough that you can stick it in a backpack, stick it in a briefcase, whatever your toting bag is, and take it with you to do your work on it. So, got on a little tangent there. Like I said, it runs Android 12, and it has, I don't know why I feel like I need to point out where these things are, but the power button at the top has a fingerprint sensor on it. So if you want to use that to lock and unlock the thing, that's there. Of course, we talked about it's got USB-C. That's over here. So that's the charger, and you use that to plug it into your, like if you want to plug into the computer to drag things onto it. I'm going to show you another way to get things onto here on your computer, which is super slick. But y'all, I don't want to get into the weeds on this thing. I just want to like hit it quickly and quit it. We'll do an actual like in the weeds discussion at some future point in time. But for now, I just want to do a quickie, show you the thing and tell you what we think. So I think I said it feels sturdy. It's got an aluminum back. It's thin, but it feels substantial, but not heavy. I hope that makes sense, but because it's not plastic, you just feel like you're holding something. So let's get into it. Let me switch to this camera and let me show you some stuff. So let's start with navigation. So when you first set it up, it asks you how you want to navigate around the thing. And I think this might have been where I like kind of froze up the other day when we were talking about this, because there are lots of options for navigation. So I'm going to go into gestures and show you that. So you can navigate by swiping up from the bottom. You can swipe up from the left, middle, and right on the bottom. And I've got those set. My swiping up from the left takes me back, middle takes me to home, and right takes me to this like multitasking screen that shows me all the things that I have open. So you can do that. But there are lots of options for each one. Like I'll show you. So this is my right swipe. I have multitask switcher selected, but like these are all the options that you have for each one of those different swipes. So you can really sort of hone in on what you want each of those gestures to do. You can see here at the top, so we're on bottom. You can also click side and set your side gestures. So I have my left side up and down gesture set to volume, but again, there are lots of options for that, different things that you might want to change on the fly while you're in an app. Same thing on the right side. You can set different things to swipe up and down on the right side. So I have volume and brightness set for my up and down swipies. And then you have in swipes from the side. So if I swipe in from the left, it's a full refresh, and swiping in from the right also gives me that multitask switcher, which is a bit of overkill because I have that in a lot of places. I just really like it. So let me get out of this. There's also a task bar across the bottom, a navigation bar that you can turn on. I don't have it on, and I'll show you why, but you can turn that on instead of your gestures. And then you get this little bar across the bottom where you can have your different functions. And you can set which ones of those you want on there, the order that you want them in. I don't have that on because on every screen, everywhere that you are on this thing, you can have this navy ball, which I love. And this has all of those on it. And you can customize it to whatever you want on there. Like I have home, full refresh, back. I love that multitask switcher. There it is again. So these are all the things that I have set on that, but you can change what you have set on it and you can move it around. So depending on which app you're in or what your screen looks like, you can move that to where you want it. And it's always accessible wherever you are in the device. So I think that's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So another thing that's really useful, we'll get into this control center in a minute, but your e-ink center. So this is how you control what the device, like what the screen of the device looks like. So you can change here, like your color enhancements. And then down here, this is really important. You can change how your screen refreshes, your refresh mode. Like for just reading, which is most of what I do on here, reading and writing, HD is fine. But like if you want to try to watch a video on this thing, you're going to want it to be on ultra fast refresh. So you can change that. And while I'm thinking about it, while we're in here, why don't I turn my screen brightness up some? See if we can't see it a little better on the screen. All right, so I love how easy it is to navigate around this thing. It might be a little counterintuitive at first, but I feel like once you get in and really start like digging around and messing with these menus, it's super easy. So that's those. Speaking of menus, let's go back to home and talk about a couple things from here. So I mentioned this control center. Now this is y'all saw where I swiped down from like that upper right corner. This gives you lots of controls. There's that e-ink center that I talked about. Your auto rotate, you can control how the thing flips. If it flips automatically when you turn the device, if you only want it to sit one way or the other, you can control that in here. Screencast, you can cast your screen. Notification mute, feedback, you can see all the things in here. Hand touch, kid mode, airplane mode. Split screen, I like that, where you can have like a book open and then notes where you can take notes beside the book. Super slick. Screen recording, screenshot, and hotspot, those are all in here. And then here's your front light. See, oh, you know what? Let's leave that up. I don't know if that's going to glare or not. Let's leave it up brighter and see how it works. And then look how, that makes my teeth itch seeing that thing that warm, but some folks like that. So I'm going to crank it back down because that's going to, but look how blue it'll get. I kind of really like that. Hang on, let me look on the, I might leave it super blue and see if we can see the screen better. No, yeah, okay. All right, so that's that. Over here on the left-hand side, we have some sort of standard menus. These are like the built-in, there all the time menus. Here's our device library. Here's a store where you can go like buy books. Here's the Notes app. Let's talk about this for just a minute, y'all. This thing, writing on here is just a lovely experience. So let's go in just while we're not going to get into the weeds. Y'all calm down. But just for a minute, let's go into, so I have my Google Drive on here because that's what I use for my work, for my like school things. So this is some comprehension questions that I wrote for a class. So let's look, and I have pinch and zoom. Ooh, that's huge. I have pinch and zoom on. So let's just write. So how does Artemis know that the waiter is not a waiter? Oh, I know how. Let me turn this a little bit so I can write. Because he is too clean. Y'all see there's very, very little drag. Like as I'm writing, there's very little gap between the tip of my pen and the color. Very, very little. So it's just an absolute pleasure to write on. I don't know if you can hear it. What you might be hearing is my dog snoring. Sorry about that. But There's just a little bit of a scritchy sound as you're writing. There's just enough drag that it feels like paper, and it's just absolutely lovely. So let me erase. I'm gonna do a lasso erase and erase all of my scribbles all at once. Then I'm gonna go back to, I like a stroke. I like to erase a stroke, like an entire stroke at a time. While we're in here, let's look at these. So you can have different pens available to you across the top. Oh, I'm right up in y'all's Kool-Aid. Sorry. Let me back up some. But you can have different pens available to you. I love the fountain pen. As a matter of fact, I have it set up in different colors. Like there's the green, here's the blue. But you can have it set up in different widths, different colors. There's the pencil. I have the pencil on here, but I don't love it. I mean, only because I don't like I like a super, super sharp pencil, like real, like Ticonderoga black pencil. So the look of that makes my teeth itch. So I would want like a super fine pencil to write with. But let's crank it back out. And you can see the difference if I write heavier or lighter. Supposedly, this is really good for sketching and drawing. Y'all see my artistic ability here? I have none. But from what I understand, from what I've read, from what I've seen, from artists whom I've seen talk about this, it's good for sketching. It's good for light projects, but like heavy, actual like design, tons and tons of layers kind of things projects. This maybe isn't the device for you, but as far as like sketching, I think it's fine. It has some tools over here that we're not going to look at today. But again, if y'all want to see these later, we can come back and look at them. A couple things I do really like. Let's get out of Artemis. I need to go back and clean that up. Let's quickly just create a notebook. So I just clicked create notebook and it gives me all of these templates from which to choose. And I'm going to pick this one and just tell it create. And this is the 5 W's: who, what, I do when, where, not where, when, why, and how. But then if I'm like, ugh, I want to be limited to the 5 W's, that's annoying. I can do, oops, I didn't mean to do layer, I meant to do template. I can go, so now I've created the note with that template, but now I can go in and change to any one of these templates and write directly on it. And I'm still in pencil. That's making me nuts. But yeah, so I can write in the template, or, so the template is one layer and then the writing is another layer. So if I want to get rid of my writing, or if I just want to not see it right now, like if I'm trying to like think of something and I'm like, oh, that's bugging me, I can't think with that on there, I can just sort of mute it, right? But then bring it back. So anyway, getting into the weeds, which we weren't going to do. So that's the Notes app. That's not even what I really wanted to talk about, but that's there. It's built in. It's all those things are just there for you. There's storage. You can see like what's all on the device. Here are the apps, y'all, and this is one of the really powerful things about this device is that it's an Android device. So you can download all your apps. So you can see I've got my Barnes & Noble Nook app. I've got the BooxDrop, which I think came with it. This is really cool. Not getting into the weeds, just want to show you. I had a question about what is BooxDrop, what does it do? This is an easy way to get your documents onto the device. If you don't want to plug it into a computer, if say you're somewhere and it's not the type of party where you can plug into the computer, you can go to this website and then log into your Books account and you can download documents or whatever it is that you need off of that computer onto your Books account and it'll show up on your device. Now, I did that the other day and I thought it wasn't working because it took longer than I thought it was going to. To me, it's much faster to drag and drop by just plugging into the machine, but sometimes that's not an option. This gives you another option for doing that. You just scan, like if you want to drop something from your phone onto the device, scan the QR code and you can drag and drop it from your phone onto the device, or like another tablet or something, which is super slick. So that's this BooxDrop app, which again must have come with it because I don't think I would have known to download that. You have different options, like you have Google Drive, Dropbox, those that it integrates with, so you can easily move your documents back and forth from there. So we're not going to get into all my apps. Y'all know what apps look like. It runs the Play Store, so like the Google Play Store, so you can download apps from there. Settings, that's where we were before. So lots of things that you can tinker around and mess with. Y'all, I want to go back to what I think this device does very well, and that's reading. I love reading on this device. Now, the Kindle app on this device is just a Kindle app. So this is just, let me go into something that I've highlighted. So this is just a big fat Kindle. And I'm okay with that. I will sit for hours and read on this thing. This is a book that I'm reading for my book club. So I'm going through and highlighting, but I don't need to annotate because I'm not likely to go back and look for my own, like my notes in it. If I wanted to annotate, again, it's a Kindle. So you can highlight, add a note. Oh, oops, what did I do? There we go. But you have to type. You can't handwrite notes in, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's how Kindle apps work, but it bugs me. Oh, it says saved. I keep hitting save, but it says saved. User error. Anyway, I love reading on this thing. And you can see, we haven't talked much about the color. You can see that I've highlighted in different colors. And y'all, to me, it's the little things. Like, and we're going to get back to this, but oh, I need to get out of the book. Don't judge me, don't Kindle stalk me, but seeing the book covers in real color, I love that. Is it worth, I don't even know what I paid for this tablet anymore. Is it worth it to pay that much for a tablet just to see books in color when you open them in your Kindle app? I mean, look at The Unmaking of June Farrow. Y'all, that book is gorgeous. Is it worth it there? I mean, it might be a little bit. Anyway, so you can highlight, you can add notes. So the apps work just like the apps work. So the Nook app is going to work on here just like it would on your iPad, on your Android device. But y'all, here's where this thing shines, for me anyway. Let me just swipe up and get to home. If you use the native library in the thing. Now, I've talked in other videos about DRMing. I have to think about putting those letters in the right order because I'm likely as not to mess them up. But removing digital rights management from your books. Now, it's a philosophical issue. You decide for yourself. Are you stealing? Are you not stealing? I only do it on books that I like buy myself from from Amazon, from Nook, from wherever. I DRM the books and then I read them myself. So I feel like I am not stealing. I have had a friend absolutely school me about how I'm still breaking federal law. It's up to you. Again, it is a philosophical question. Decide for yourself. But let me show you what I've done. So I have DRM'd Kindle books so that I can use them in my books library on here and make notes directly in the book, because inside the native library app, you can annotate directly in the book. So look, I can write straight up in the book and be like, why did that happen? What are you doing? You can highlight, you can do all the things. I can underline, and then it makes a cute underline, or it'll highlight. I can annotate when, oops, I have to get out of that. When. Sometimes I write where it's actually legible for other humans. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm like, wait, where did that note just go? I don't know what just happened. So I can go, oh, it went, I didn't mean for that to happen. Hang on. There we go. I can go to Contents, and I can pull up all of my handwriting, and it'll show me the page on which I wrote things. I can touch it, and it opens it right back up. I can go to pull up any annotations, go to the table of contents. Y'all, it is slick, like slick. So I like that a lot. Again, not going to get into the weeds. I just wanted to show y'all how cool that is. You can read PDFs, of course, in here. You can download your PDFs, annotate them the same kind of ways. You have all of those same menus in your PDFs. In note-taking, like in the Notes app, it recognizing, I think are they called editor's marks? Where you can like do the swirly thing and it switches words around, or you can scribble out and it'll delete words. It recognizes those, y'all. It is very neat. Of course, it's got AI support, which I don't use that much, but it's in there. It's a very, very powerful tool. So I love this a lot, y'all, but it's not good at everything. It's not for everyone. It is not, it's not a full-blown, like full-functioning iPad, Android kind of tablet. So if you're looking for something on which to watch videos, this is not the one. It will play videos. I tested it. I don't watch videos on it at all, but I mean, not that I'm above that, I just don't. But I tried to watch, just to test it and see what it was like. I tried to watch a YouTube video on it, and the sound was fine, but the picture was just, it wasn't cute at all. So if it's something that you really just want to listen to, like I was watching one of my own videos and it was like hard to, I was like, what is happening in that picture? Because think of it like the color is just so different. It's so off that, and the refresh rate, it's not good. You can play games on it, but if you're looking for a tablet on which to play games, this is not the one. There are tablets that are significantly less expensive that you can actually play games on. Like, I think somebody that's good at playing games, if they try to play games on this tablet, they're going to like look like me trying to play games, and I'm profoundly bad at gaming. Like if I try to play a game, it's cussing and dying. It's all there is. So like I have a student who likes for us to play educational games together. We have Zoom classes together, and I have to mute myself because I'm so bad that I'm afraid I'm going to like say naughty words. Well, that's how good I am at gaming. So if you're a good gamer, if you try to game on this thing, I'm pretty sure that's how you would end up being. So this is not the tablet for that. But if you want a tablet for taking notes on, for reading on, it's got one other thing. And I promise if y'all want to talk about this, we'll get into this on another video, but I don't want this video to be very, very long because I want it to actually be like something that people will look for to find out information on this tablet. And if I keep rambling, we're headed for too long for that. But there is an app called PushRead. And this is another one of those that must be native on the thing because I wouldn't have known to download this. But it'll receive your RSS and ODS, is it ODS? ODS feeds, and you can push websites to here to read later. So it's sort of a repository to receive and hold and sort of organize articles until you get around to reading them. So super powerful. I think it can be a very, very useful tool for work, for school, and I just like it because I like reading books on it. So that's my take on the Boox Note Air 3C. Let me know what you think. Do you have one? Do you want one? Do you have another color e-ink tablet that you read on? Oh, I didn't even say this thing comes in black and white too. So that's the C, Note Air 3C. There's a Note Air 3 that's black and white. This is a Note Air 3C that's in color. So do you have a color e-ink tablet that you read on? If so, which one do you use? And do you prefer color over black and white, or is it just me? Y'all let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.